afternoon, colleagues, and welcome to the post-match press conference of the game between South Africa and Madagascar. We're now joined by Madagascar coach Hortensia. Good afternoon, and how are you?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm fine. And you?
Okay. Hadla coach, your thoughts about today's game?
Donc, encore une fois, ton sentiment par rapport à la rencontre d'aujourd'hui?
Bon, premièrement, donc, je vous remercie à mon équipe parce qu'elle a bien fait, même malgré notre défaite, c'est ça le maximum. Donc.
So, first of all, I would like to congratulate my team for today. Despite our loss today, I'm very proud of them.
Is the end of the road for you? Your key takeaways from this year's tournament?
Donc, tu es éliminé aujourd'hui après cette nouvelle défaite. Sentiment?
On est éliminé, mais ça me donne d'expérience pour nous. On continuera toujours. Pas d'hésitation pour nous. On verra alors.
Yes, we are eliminated today after this second loss, but we are happy. We will keep moving. I know that my team is a very talented one, and we will continue to work.
Over to you. Please tell us your name and the media house that you are representing.
Okay, Lare from the BC News. Coach, especially coming from a situation where you did not have much against him, I'm sure this performance has given you something to build upon going forward.
Donc, malgré la défaite aujourd'hui, est-ce que est-ce que tu as pu retenir quelque chose qui va vous permettre d'avancer? Est-ce que tu as pu retenir quelque chose qui va permettre à l'équipe d'avancer?
Pour nous, donc, avant de jouer contre l'Afrique du Sud, le pays organisateur, je donne la stratégie animation défensive par rapport à son adversaire parce qu'elles ont vif, rapide, tout ça. Donc notre stratégie animation par la défense.
Okay, so we already knew that South Africa was a very difficult team to play against. They usually play continental competition and even over. So today I focused mainly on the defensive tactics. And on the first half it went well, but after that it was it became difficult to contain the South African ladies. But anyway, we will continue to work on that aspect of the game.
Bonjour. COSAFA TV. I wanted to ask you that even though you still have another match, coach, and even in the two matches that you played, you gave everybody a tough time. You were not a walkover. Will you be looking to finish strongly in that final match?
Donc tu as un dernier match et tes deux premiers matchs, tu as très bien joué, tu as donné du fil à retordre à tes adversaires. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut attendre du dernier match contre le Malawi?
La dernière match, on a joué encore avec des efforts parce que par rapport à premier match et le deuxième match, je crois bien que l'équipe Malawi est très forte parce qu'elles sont premiers dans notre poule. On a changé de système aussi. Ça dépend de notre joueuse aussi, mais toujours animer, toujours donner des morales, tout ça, pour jouer encore avec nos cœurs.
So we will play with our hearts, and I'm expecting greater efforts from my players against Malawi. We know that Malawi is a very good team. They are top of a group, but it does not matter for us because we want to play a good game. A very good one, well constructed. That's what I am expecting for my players. I will put another tactics. I put a tactics again for our first match, a new one today, and we will try to find another tactic for the last game.
Coach, Sia from Kickoff, I'd like on the results, coach. I just want to ask today, where do you feel it went wrong for your team? Was it tactical? Was it mental? Where to go?
Aujourd'hui, qu'est-ce qui n'a pas marché? Est-ce que c'est tactique, mental, physique? Qu'est-ce qui n'a pas marché plutôt, selon toi?
Le physique. le physique premièrement parce que pendant les 2 matchs qu'on a fait, donc c'est toujours en première mi-temps on joue bien, toujours. À partir de la deuxième mi-temps, on se regrette comme ça. Donc on a besoin de préparer bien les conditions physiques.
It's more a physical matter because on the first match it was the same case, and today again we play well in the first half, and then on the second half my players are a little bit tired. So I think that back to Madagascar we'll have to work more on physical condition.
Good afternoon, from Spain. Top luck, coach. I'd love to find out, you've played 2 games so far, and obviously you've seen other results that were recorded in other games. What do you know from this year's competition when you look at the level of competition at this year's tournament?
Donc quand tu regardes un peu le niveau de la compétition, tu t'aperçois de quoi quand tu regardes le niveau de la compétition, COSAFA overall en général?
En général, la COSAFA, ça me donne beaucoup d'expérience pour nous parce que j'ai déjà dit toujours qu'après Covid, il n'y a pas de tournoi, il n'y a pas de championnat à Madagascar. Après le Covid, c'est la première fois en 2023 qu'on a participé. Ça encore au début, ce n'est qu'un commencement. Donc on verra alors, nous demandons toujours de participer à sa compétition et aussi le match international.
Okay, yeah. As usual, COSAFA is a very difficult competition. We try our best today, but we must admit that since COVID-19, we weren't able to play a game. So I had to build a new team this year for the tournament, and it was difficult. But my goal is to continue to play international game, and I will ask my federation to let me play again over international tournament. And I would like to thank the COSAFA for giving us a platform to showcase our players.
I think Jasmine still answered.
Wait,
What?
I didn't.
Sorry?
Raise up your hand, then I'll pick you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the last one.
Yeah, just I'm not too clear. My question was, what does she make of the level of competition at the tournament, not just focusing on her team? Obviously, with the other results that she has seen, the level of competition generally.
Qu'est-ce que tu penses des autres résultats encore? Des autres résultats, des autres équipes? Des autres formations qui participent à la COSAFA? Qu'est-ce que tu penses?
Les autres équipes,
Ouais.
comme Malawi.
Ouais.
Par rapport à nous, c'est presque c'est un modèle pour nous. Pour moi seulement, alors que le Malawi et l'Afrique du Sud et Zambie et Namibie.
Okay.
Oui.
Okay. Yes, we have seen good level of game since the start of the tournament. I am mainly focused on Namibia, South Africa, Zambia, and Malawi. They are my models in this tournament.
Parce que le Comores, c'est pas loin pour nous, comme ça, donc c'est pareil. Même si c'est Eswatini, malgré le stress.
And I would also like to put in light the work done by Comoros, Eswatini, and ourselves, like small teams, but we are trying to do something in the tournament as well.
Are you answered? Coach, thanks for your time and good luck in the next game.
Bonne chance.
Merci, thank you very much, thank you. Thank you for you.
We are now joined by South Africa coach Desiree Ellis. Coach, congratulations on your win. Overall impressions about today's game?
Look, happy with the result, but the performance, no. You know, when you give instructions, we said it's hot out there. We said move the ball around. But every ball we played was a long ball. You know, we're never going to compete. We're never going to win those long balls. And when we played Malawi, the minute we started moving the ball around, we took control. Because that is our strength. And unfortunately, running with the ball against someone who's more physical than you was also not going to work. And during the break, we tried to rectify it. But once again, we conceded poorly. Number 15 was completely free when the ball came across, and we had assigned certain players to certain players. And I mean, that is just criminal when you're supposed to pick up someone, but you don't go there and pick up the individual. And then we're on the back foot again, and immediately from the restart, I said in the beginning, if you think you're coming here and you're just going to get the 3 points, it's not going to work like that, because Madagascar might have lost their first game, but they can play. And they showed today they can play. They showed today what we should have been showing, moving the ball around. I think the changes we made once again showed a little bit of effect. I think Chelsea came in and held the ball up really well for us, but I think Solana for me was the big substitute that came in and really took control of the game, and that's what we want, but we have to be better than this. We're still in it though, but we have to be better than this. Obviously we'll go back and look and do our analysis, and maybe some harsh words needs to be said as well, because even though this is a new group, it's important to play to instructions, because there's a reason why we do analysis. There's a reason why we look at opponents and see what we can do to be better. And the higher the level, the more tactical it becomes, and if you can't listen to instructions, you're going to struggle at the higher level. But then again, on the other hand, we had one training session this whole week. Tried to fix a few things, and unfortunately you cannot fix everything in one session. So it's going to take a bit of time and a little bit frustrated at times, but sometimes I think we expect too much from a group that's just come in. But that's the quality that we have with the players that we've selected, and that's why we expect too much. And maybe we should just go back and have a look again and see how we can go into the next game. It's another must-win, of course. But I think, happy with the result, but not so happy with the performance, really.
Okay.
Coach Lari from CBC News. After such a difficult game, how important is it for a young group to make sure that they also come up with a win like they did today?
I think it's very important. Even though we lost to Malawi, I thought we played a little bit better than today. There was a little bit more connection, a lot more bravery, a lot more effort. But a few days in between for a group that's just come in that hasn't prepared. I knew the second game was also going to be a little bit more difficult. So at the end of the day, the result is important, and I think we can't play any worse than what we played today. I think we can only get better from here onwards.
Okay.
Coach, Sia from Kickoff, congratulations on the win, Coach. The things that you just spoke about now, in terms of the players sometimes not following the instructions, what would you put that down to? Is it the fact that you spent so little time together? Is it stage fright? A lot of the players that we've seen them, they can play.
Yeah, I don't think it's stage fright. Some of them played at the COSAFA last year. Many of them have been to our camps over the last year and a half. So I don't think it's stage fright. Like I said, I think it's too little time together. We've played 2 games, but we've had 1 training session. You cannot get everything right in that training session, unfortunately. And tomorrow's a recovery, and then you prepare for the next game in 1 day again. So there's not a lot of time, but we'll try to fix what we try to fix again, and maybe it will be better, because it's another must-win.
Congratulations, Coach. It's on COSAFA TV. With everything that you said, and also different circumstances for these 2 games as well, but the fact that you're still in it, and the fact also that you scored today and you were sort of in charge, in the game. How big is this also sort of a win that you're still in it with the circumstances and everything that happened, and you find yourself here and still competing?
I think it's a big win, a very big win, considering from where we come from. Like I say, we sometimes expect too much from the group, even though there was little time. But we know the quality that they have. But I think it's a very big win, because it gives you that little bit of confidence too. It gives you a little bit of momentum now going forward. We did say we wanted to score more goals. It didn't happen. But at the end of the day, we also said we wanted to win. And that little bit of bravery and courage in the time when we needed some people to step up, they stepped up. And I think that will really motivate the rest of the group for the upcoming game.
Yes, sir.
Coach Ronald for the win. This is Peter Kanjere from Malawi. I've noted that your team is so impressive, especially especially the way you finish the game. Every game, you're scoring 2-3 goals. Would you rather win by 1-0 without conceding, or you're happy with the way it's going?
Look, I don't think you can go sometimes in a game without conceding. I don't think anyone has gone through games without conceding goals. And I think if you play those moments better, you obviously won't concede. But we've shown as a team, not just now, but in the past, that we can create, that we can score. We've shown in the past that we play until the final whistle. And I think this new group of players has come in and have just grabbed that, that Banyana initiative, that Banyana DNA of the never giving up, of always fighting till the bitter end, of, showing their bravery, of playing until that final whistle. When things look doom and gloom, they step up and they take the game by the scruff of the neck. So they've grabbed that DNA from the so-called senior group of players, and it augurs well for our football, because, as I said, this is a group of young players. That we always use COSAFA for that, and we could have selected a much stronger team, but it might not have benefited us in the long run, because, we have to also look now already towards 2027. I know there's Olympics coming up, but we also have to look there, because slowly but surely you're having to refresh the squad. And in our squad, we already have 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds that have been to the World Cup. So we're getting the next group of players ready to see from this group who we can take with us to make the core group bigger. Because when we play an opponent, we have 30-odd players, maybe sometimes 40-odd players. And then from that, depending on who we play, we then select a squad to help us with that particular game. So the young players that are here all have an opportunity now to raise their hands, because pretty soon we'll be playing GR Congo, and maybe some of them will be part of that squad.
Sorry, question once again. Is it a bit frustrating that the expectations are always high despite the circumstances? You are expected to deliver even when the preparation is. Does that frustrate you a bit?
It does frustrate me to a certain extent, and I think what's the word I'm looking for? We the enemy of our success, when we maybe don't get the time we want, we still deliver. When we maybe don't get the opponent we want, we still deliver. When our backs are against the wall, we still deliver. So the expectation is always, no matter what, we must deliver, But we try to take the pressure off the players, saying just, especially the first game, we had nothing. We had a little meeting and that was it. Welcoming the players and saying, listen, this is what they're going to do. Malawi's going to play the long ball. We knew that was going to happen. But you've got to train those things. You've got to make sure that you play it in training for them to get used to it. So in all essence, a little bit frustrated the way we played, but on the other hand, having so little time and getting the results that we got and coming very close to getting a draw against Malawi shows the talent and the quality that we have. And I think in maybe 2027, you'll see some of these players there, and then people won't even remember how they came into the Banyana, how they came into the tournament at the very, very last minute. And they might be the next ones coming up to play in the senior national team for a very long time. I think it's not just South Africans that are frustrated. I think on the African continent as a whole, it happens where countries don't get enough preparation, countries don't get enough game time, they maybe don't get the opponents that they want. So it's not just, it's not just us. I think it's most of the countries. I know Malawi's been in camp since the 18th. I know that for a fact. I know other teams have been in camp for a long time because they had nothing else during the FIFA window, so they could prepare for the COSAFA. Unfortunately, other countries could not prepare. Zambia had a different group of players out in Morocco. Now they've got a different group here, and I was quite impressed with that too, because it's about making sure that you get ready and getting the next generation ready and making sure that all the time that you refresh the squad. Because if you come with a too old squad here, you have to restart again next year and restart next year. And we've used the COSAFA Cup for that purpose. We don't bring a development team here, but we bring a team here strong enough to be able to win the tournament, strong enough to be able to compete, strong enough to be able to say, this is the next generation coming up. Last year we had 2 teams. We had one playing Brazil, we had one playing at the COSAFA Cup. And we almost won the COSAFA Cup with that group. But that group had the best under 20 players and the best players that have been to a World Cup. So we try and see how we can do that so that we make sure that in 2 years' time, these players are already playing in the senior national team. And the squad in the senior national team, you have a group of 18, 20, 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds that have been to 2 World Cups. They have been to 1 World Cup, but they started here. They started here. Notolo started in 2018, and she lit up the COSAFA Cup in Gqeberha. I think Tembi started as well before she even went overseas. Linda, Rafil Jani, all of them, and look where they are now. So this tournament for us, yes, we want to win it. I don't think you come to a tournament not wanting to win it, but this tournament is much more important for us because it prepares our players for the next step. It prepares the next generation. In 2018, we used this tournament in Gqeberha to prepare for the WAFCON. Uganda was there, Cameroon was there, and that was the big test for us. And when we came through that, we knew we were ready. So I want to say thank you to COSAFA for this tournament, because this tournament is more than just a tournament for us. People might think we're bringing not the best players, but when you step into Banyana, you are Banyana. So we might not be happy with the way we played today, but happy with the result.
Any more questions? Okay.
Coach, I wanted to ask you, it's about VAR. As a team that has been to the World Cup and see now VAR is used, and now see VAR being introduced here, albeit at the semi-finals, with the experience that you have from the World Cup, what do you have to say about that?
Look, I think it's important. I think we all make mistakes. We see things differently. It's not there to take over the referee's job. Sometimes it can go for you, and sometimes it can go against you, like it did for us in 2019. But it's there to, I think, when the official doesn't see an offside and a goal gets scored, and we maybe see the offside, it's there to help those things. It's not there to take over the referee's job. I think it's needed in the game. A lot of decisions are made, and it's to the detriment of some teams, where a goal goes against them, and maybe there was offside. So I think it's fantastic that it's come into COSAFA so quickly, because on the Southern African continent that hasn't happened, and it shows how serious COSAFA is about women's football. You know, it shows how serious they are about developing the game of women. And when you look at the tournament itself, I think it's fantastic. Would have loved it to be from the beginning, but I know it's also a cost. But it's fantastic that it's coming into the tournament itself.
From this game, are there any positives that you're taking that you would like to see also in the next game? You spoke about the second half.
I think it's some of the goals that we created. That's really good for me, because we always say we're a team that will create, but it's also about finishing. Taking those opportunities, taking those chances, and we had a few. Where the wrong decisions were made. It's about in moments where we really move the ball around. It's about in moments where we're in complete control, but then other moments we're not, because now we over-elaborate. So it's just doing the simple things really good. I think that's what we need to concentrate on, is doing those simple things good, because our strength is to move the ball around. And when we brought on certain players who's very good at that, the game changed automatically. But we should be changing it with the personnel on the field.
Okay, that's the end of our press conference. Thanks for your time, and coach, thanks once again, and good luck in your next game.
Thank you.